actually... Are you alive? Hello everybody. I'm laughing because I've just had to start this video again because my super stable tripod blew over in the wind and I was talking to you and you went whoosh. Anyway, welcome to the Wandering Dan channel. I hope you can hear me in this wind. It's a constant problem. I think it's my choice of film locations. I always choose the water and it's always windy. It's the water. Cold. Well, it's cold today. It'd be nice if there was no wind. It's completely calm and I could just talk and you can just hear me. Filming issues. Which reminds me, I've got a new camera. But that's not for this video. This video is a review on Kawasaki's KLR 650. Here it is. Here's one, my one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a review on it. Well, I'm going to talk about it. And if you found this video and you are not one of my subscribers, it means you've probably searched a review on Kawasaki KLR 650, which probably means you're thinking of buying one. So I'll talk about the things that I want to know when I'm thinking of buying a motorbike. If you're thinking of buying a KLR 650, you're probably after an adventure bike. Maybe not, maybe you're after a commuter, but what I'm saying is I'll sort of tilt what I'm talking about towards the adventure side of things. Or we could just talk about everything. I probably will. I'll probably talk about how that log over there has been there for ages. We'll talk about all sorts, don't I? Those of you that watch my videos know this. So, welcome new people. Subscribe. The reason being, I want you to. No, I'm going to ride around the, well, I say I am riding around the world on this. I thought I'd do a review on it. And my videos are about to get way better as well. This is a message for everyone. Because I've just bought Sony's, that's what I was just saying about new camera. I've just bought Sony's, the best one Sony does, their action cam. And it's got, I've got a microphone, external microphone, and it will mount to my helmet. So very soon you're going to start getting videos, riding videos of different rides. Well, you know, as I'm riding around the planet, and also I can talk to you while I'm doing it. Yay! I can talk more. Anyway. Kawasaki's KLR 650. What would I want to know if I was thinking of buying a motorbike? First I want to know where you can see. Right about here. What would I want to know? I'd want to know how far I can go on a tank of petrol. I always want to know that when I'm buying a bike. I think it holds 20. I'm doing a review on a bike to give you information, and I forgot to look a bit like certain specs. I couldn't tell you how much horsepower it's got. It's not much. It's not that type of bike. I can't even tell you how much the tank holds. I think it's like 20 something litres. I got 26 in my head. Anyway, doesn't matter how many litres it holds. What matters is how far it goes. I go on to reserve. Look, there's someone. I go on to reserve at 400 kilometres. That's how far I can go before I go on to reserve. I've never used all the reserve up and discovered how far you can go before you fucking run out. I reckon you. I think you could actually do another 100 kilometres on reserve. The reason I say that is, I think the tank holds 20. It must. When I do hit reserve, I've used, I think it's 20 litres. And I'm sure it holds 26 litres. Something like that, give or take a litre. Or two. It's around that, mid-20s. And so if I'm doing 400 kilometres on 20 litres, and that's me fully loaded as well, and I'm heavy, all my stuff on, if I'm doing 400 kilometres, that's 100 kilometres per 5 litres, and if the reserve's another 5 litres, which I think it is, something like that, it might not be, that's quite big for a reserve. Yeah, it's a whole entire gallon. Anyway, yeah, 400 kilometres you hit reserve. I don't know how far reserve is. That was a pointless 2 minutes of talking, wasn't it? Well, I'm not restarting the video. This is attempt number 4. Bloody camera full. It's actually... Are you alive? Over. Battery runs out. Let's point out how much battery's left. 1 bar. I best bloody hurry up, hadn't I? I've got another 2 batteries though, and this is the SJ cam I'm talking to you on. The batteries are very used, and they're Chinese shit. Well, I got an original. One of them's original, but the other 2 is Chinese shit batteries. You can literally do 2 videos on an entire battery. And I don't know which one you got in you now. So, I've been talking for 7 minutes and all you know so far is how far you can go before you go on reserve. It's a single cylinder, 650cc machine, dual sport. As you can see, for a dual sport these days, most dual sports are actually mainly towards the road, aren't they? As you can see, it's obvious to look at with its high mud guards. This actually is more towards the dirt than a lot of dual sports are now, which is nice, which is why it's good what I'm doing. Nice amount of power, really smooth engine for a 650 single, really smooth engine. Nice size. I'm 6'2", comes to here, halfway up me. That's on its side though, I suppose. There you go. This is a 6'2" person holding it. So, if you're a short arse, unless you're going to lower it, which you can do, I won't bother, you'll struggle. But I think you will with all dual sport bikes, adventure bikes, unless you lower them and you're short. So if you want one, get this one and just lower it. It's the best one. I've had GS 1150 BMW. I've I had the Dominator 650, which is Honda's version of the 650 single. I think this is better than them. I won't go into why it's... You think, what? You think it's better than the BMW GS1150? Yeah, for someone travelling around the world it is. Or someone going to remote places it is. But that's got nothing to do with the Kawasaki 650 review, that's another video. Swear to God, I try to do every video subject in one video, every time. So it's quite a big bike. It leans more towards the dirt than most dual sports do. I'd say it's a 50-50, really. Just because of its weight. I think if you wanted it to be even more towards the dirt than it is than road, it just needs to be lighter. I mean, I'm no expert on off-roading at all. It's got tubed tyres, tube tyres, which I like because you can carry a puncture repair kit and you get a puncture. You repair it, take your wheel off and you repair it, which is good for an adventure rider. It's got single disc front brake with one piston, I think. This one has anyway. I'm not sure if the newer ones have got two pistons. This is a generation 1 KLR 650. Forgot to say that at the beginning, should have said that. Those of you that know KLRs can see this is the generation 1 and I'll put it in the title. In a single piston disc rear caliper. Yeah, single front. I should have just looked originally before I started talking and giving you false information. Well, it wasn't false, it was right, but it could have been false. Water cooled. This bike's very good at controlling its temperature. As soon as, if it gets warm in traffic or trail riding, as soon as you get the air flowing over it, whoo, down the temperature goes. It holds 2.5 litres of oil. As usual, it says on the side 2.5 litres of oil. The manual says 2.5 litres of oil and stuff, but when you do an oil change, even with the filter, it doesn't actually take 2.5 litres to get it right on the sight glass. I change my oil. I don't even know what the recommended distance is. I change my oil every 5,000, maybe sometimes more, to be honest. If I'm a bit bored one day, change my oil. It depends also how you're using. We're talking about oil changes. If you're doing long distances all day every day, you know, you're using the bike every day and you're riding a long way, your oil lasts a lot longer than when you're doing tiny little rides spread out over a long time. The oil lasts tons longer when it's getting up to temperature. There's no moisture going into it, and you're cruising with the engine at working temperature. Anyway, 2.5 litres of oil it holds. Something else I like, compared to the Dominator anyway, it's got one exhaust, one single exhaust coming out of the head. I'm sure the Dominator's got two, that's why I said that. Yeah, a lot of single cylinders you get, especially the big ones, even though it's a single, it'll have two. It's got one. Boom. It's good. I can't remember if the Dominator has got two now. I'm doubting myself because I'm broadcasting to the world. Some of you who know the Dominators might be sat there now going, nah, it's got one. swear it's got two. And it's annoying. Why have a single cylinder and two bloody exhausts? You know. So, engine's good, reliable as fuck. Those of you that know KLRs will know that. Those of you that are thinking of buying one, just Google it. Do a bit of, well, you have obviously, that's how you got to this video, you've Googled it. Just look at everyone else's reviews and everyone will tell you they're reliable as fuck. They are. They're like the cockroach of the motorbike world. I can't remember the name of the channel. There's a channel. He tries to kill one anyway, a bit like Top Gear did with the Hilux, and he takes one of these and he's chucking it in water and doing all sorts of stuff to it, trying to break it. I can't even remember what the channel's called. You'll probably find it if you search KLRs and stuff. KLR reviews, I don't know. You are searching it, that's how you got in. The brakes, they're alright, they're not bad. Keep them serviced, keep them clean. And then they're not too bad, even with a lot of weight on. They're not quite, you know, road bike standard, but for one of the, you have to expect certain things from this type of bike. You don't expect to have awesome brakes and be able to go boom. That's another thing. You've got your softer suspension. You shouldn't expect to be able to slam your brakes on into the corner, continue, loads of power, blah. You shouldn't be expecting to be able to do that. Let me check the battery level. Oh, we're not on a red bar yet. That's good. So, for what it is, brakes aren't too bad. I don't even know if you can see me when I stand near the back of the bike. Well, you can actually. When you look at the front of the camera, it's got a way wider view than what the lens looks like it has. Anyway, brakes. Yeah. The headlight. It's a bit shit. But what do you expect? It's just a bog standard square headlight. I'll get the camera and I will walk you around so you can see. There you go. Bog standard square, generation 1. So the second gen KLR's different. It's just a bog standard square headlight that you got on loads of bikes from the 90s and 80s. You chuck a good bulb in there and they're not too bad, but I don't like doing that. Not anymore anyway. Because you're old, because of your regulator rectifier. My rear tyre's bald as fuck. But that's got nothing to do with the KLR in general. They're not a bad thickness rear tyre for off-roading on these. The other thing is, it could be to do with the smoothness of the engine. This doesn't eat chains and sprockets like you would expect from what it is. My Dominator, I was forever having to adjust the chain, and I think I replaced it 3 times in just 1 year. I was riding a long way. But this, I've done thousands of, I think I've done 2,000 kilometres since I adjusted it last, and it's nice. But I do use, I've got another thing with chains, which is for another video. I've found an awesome way to look after your chain, and it's working really well, and I'll share that with everyone. So subscribe if you want to see that and you're not a subscriber. Get subscribing! Don't know where to put you. You're on a table. There. Is that a good place? You can see the bike. I'm recording in 1080. It's alright. I normally record in 4K, but I don't even upload in 4K, so I don't know why I bother. Anyway, a lot of you have come here to see if you want to buy a KLR 650, and I'm yapping on about what I've recorded. I would say I've owned. I'm gonna round this up now because I'm just yapping on forever. I've owned a lot of motorbikes, and to summarise this one, I'm going to talk about just the adventure bikes I've owned. If you want to do some, I'll come closer because it's windy and you might not even be able to hear me. If you want to do some serious adventuring, you know, across the world and go to some remote places, do some hardcore shit, this bike is perfect for it, and I will say why. Because there's certain things, forget, I'm talking about standard bikes, I'm not talking about upgraded, I'm talking about what you get with the bike as standard, because you can make any bike better than another bike by just spending, you know. Summarise, for proper adventure, for a start, it's Japanese. And the reason that's a good thing is you need to have Japanese if you want to go. This is my opinion, remember. Japanese, because you don't want German, you don't fucking BMW, because you can't get parts for them. There's a bloke been stuck somewhere in South America for the past few weeks as I'm doing this video. Obviously if you're watching this video in ages time, because his final drive on his BMW is gone, can't get parts for it. It's Peru or somewhere, can't get parts for it. Anyway, so Japanese, so you can get parts for it, plus it's reliable. You don't want Chinese, even though you can get parts for them in a lot of Asia and stuff and middle of nowhere, because there's fucking tons of them, but it's unreliable. So Japanese, you can get parts and it's with the reliability. This has got a huge fuel tank and range as standard. I think the Dominator that I had, 12-14 litres it held, and a range of like 120 miles, and you needed fuel. That's crap, Jesus Christ. So it's Japanese, it's got a real good range, it's simple. If it does break, you stand a good chance of being able to fix it with just simple tools. It's got one cylinder. Now, you can look at that in two different ways. You can look at the fact you've got one cylinder, so there's just one lot of things that can break. Or you can look at it, you've only got one cylinder, so if your one cylinder goes down, you've got no other cylinders to fucking limp to somewhere. So depends how you look at that. I like the power delivery and just the way single cylinders behave. They're just my favourite. I've owned parallel twins, V twins, boxer twins, straight fours. I haven't had a flat four actually. Yeah, all sorts of engine configurations, and I love the single cylinder mid-range for adventuring. Which actually reminds me, it's 650cc is good, middle of the road cc, because you've got some power, but you've also got fuel economy. You go smaller cc than that, you've got the fuel economy without the power, and you go higher cc than that, and you've got the power without the fuel economy. Mid cc, like the Kawasaki 650, you get both, which is nice. And you got the tube tyres, so you can repair it on the side of the road. It's all about repairing on the side of the road with the bike, isn't it? So, to summarise, I've told you absolutely fuck all about the Kawasaki 650, other than it's dead good. Buy one. You want an adventure bike, it's the best one. You're going to see it a lot on my channel. Just have a look at some of the other videos. I mean, I know I've not told you much in this review, I don't feel like I have. I think I told you enough, really. When I do jobs on it, I'm going to record them, so unless you're watching this video and it's brand new, there's probably some other videos on my channel from different things that I've done. Oh, you know, just an oil change. I'll just do a little video on that. Tyre change. So basically, if you want to see stuff for the Kawasaki 650, have a look at my other videos as well. I think depending when exactly you're watching this video, how far after I've uploaded it, there might be a ton of videos of this going God knows where. So basically, what I'm saying is my entire channel is like a huge review of the Kawasaki 650 and testament to what the Kawasaki 650 can do. Or not do, if it does break, but we'll see. So, if you want hardcore adventure bike, buy the Kawasaki 650, that's what I say. It's definitely what I say. Hope you enjoyed that video. Subscribe. The reason I say that is if I get enough subscribers, YouTube will be a tiny channel. So feed Dan for a day by subscribing. Sayonara. It's actually Are you alive?